When Abacha's buried goats and cows were dug out of Asorock ground. In the weeks following the sudden death of General Sani Abacha on June 8, 1998, strange discoveries were made inside Asorock, the official residence of Nigeria head of state. Soldiers under the new military junta led by General Abdulsalami Abubakar reportedly dug up carcasses of goats and cows buried within the compound, according to an August 4, 1998 publication of PM News, which a cohort blog obtained from archive.ng. The animals, according to reports at the time, had been buried alive on the order of marabouts and juju men who worked for Abacha during his rule. They were said to be part of rituals meant to protect the late dictator from harm and to strengthen his hold on power. Abacha, who ruled Nigeria with a firm and often brutal hand from November 1993 until his death, was known to rely heavily on spiritual advisors. He placed strong belief in the power of marabouts, babalawos, and Islamic spiritualists who constantly warned him about threats to his life. Because of their advice, Abacha rarely left Asorock. In almost 5 years in power, he visited fewer than 3 states and traveled abroad only on rare occasions. The marabouts reportedly told him which places were safe and which were dangerous, not be small thing. Sources also claim that some of his most significant decisions were influenced by these advisors. The arrest of former military ruler and eventual democratically elected president Olusegun Obasanjo and General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua in 1995 over a phantom coup plot were said to have been made based on the marabouts warning. After Abacha's death, Abubakar ordered a thorough cleansing of Asorock before moving in. Reports from Abuja at the time said the new head of state did not immediately take up residence there until the place was sanitized of the spiritual remnants of the previous regime. Abacha's sudden death at the presidential villa remains one of Nigeria's most discussed mysteries. Officially, he was said to have died of a heart attack, but there were widespread rumors that he had been poisoned, with several conflicting accounts about what happened in the final hours. The discovery of the buried animals added another layer to the stories surrounding Abacha's reign. It reflected the extreme lengths to which the late head of state went in his quest for power and protection, and how deeply fear and superstition has shaped his time in office. It is well. See, I don't do juju since 1993. Not be small thing. As Said Momo says, he said Abacha lived in a cocoon. All public engagements were discouraged. Why couldn't the marabouts fortify him enough to come out, if they were really powerful? Umar Abubakar says rubbish and bullshit conspiracy theory. Let's take it that way. Had that became on others, it was people they will bury alive, not goats and cows. Grant Tiroham says Abacha wasn't a Christian. What's the difference? At Chooks said, can you see it? A zoo is a zoo. This is one of the old headmaster of the zoo who took the zoo money and established air conditioning in hellfire. He's a criminal. So what did he want again in this world? Tunga, he wants to Islamize the whole West Africa. I think this one they talk. Austin says, as I always say, it is foolish man that will trust fetish jujus. With all these sacrifices, where is it today? Be wise, even juju man himself will buy. Exactly, if ordinary poison can buy him. Austin says, that's always okay again. At Sylvania says, very funny indeed and in truth, as marabouts babalawos Islamic Otomobo were the order of the day, but death still came and cut short of his devilish ambition on the poor citizens then, and save OBJ's life and others who knows what is presently going on now at Asorock Villa as a one-off affair in becoming a life president of Nigeria's men in the APC. With that area be the biblical Golgotha, field of blood and sacrifices as these overvaulting ambitions, ergo to succeed self-born in the APC. No. Sule says with all his juju, he bite. That's all. Exactly. With all your juju, nobody is escaping this life. You cannot live as living person. You must buy before you go. Emmanuel Oye says Abacha buried animals. Now human being then they bury. His case was fair. What's the assurance that it was a goat? Did you see it? What if it was a human being? Abeg, Gabrasani says, we thank God Abacha you said use cow and goat. If it was now, you see like 1,000 human skeletons buried alive. If care is not taken, the people we have now can never use goat and cow as sacrifice. I swear. Case 3 says cows and goats. Don't you know the meaning of? Oh, are you a baby? Are you a baby? Who told you it's goat and cow? Ujosara says the rules wickedly even plan to turn the country into Islamic country. That's why God took his life, to tell him kings and kingdom might pass away, but the kingdom of God remaineth the same. Ruby Ibiwari says Abacha was an angel but we didn't know. I judged him wrongly. What makes him an angel? Please tell us. He's an angel. Okay, Mutuafo says Satan is cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the fake prophets are. Abacha is suffering the same thing with BUR1ED, and they are waiting for Tinubu. Atiaya Shuaibu says we will testify on Judgment Day. Mika Ishaya says it may be true of us, but one thing I know, Juju cannot preserve life except it is not yet time. Exactly. If it is time for you to go, you will definitely go. Your Juju, it is that day that your Juju will stop working. Chinedu says the Abacha story has gone very long way in teaching both the present and future administration that they can never be gods as claimed, neither will their evil will ever continue on the poor innocent masses. And those strangers who believe destroying Nigerians is their destiny, their woe will come quicker than Abacha's own. Evans Okoli says, yes, he's an African and we do rituals in Africa. It is our tradition and culture. There is nothing wrong in it. It is normal. There is nothing wrong with it. As for Simon says, this one that is in hell burning with 72 virgins. Michael Appa says, it's not only Abacha that did that. It's a common thing among even some Christians that I've heard of. The moment they are appointed as chief executive of an institution, they start desecrating the place by burying live animals instead of playing around its perimeter with the Holy Bible. Evil leads to evil. Next, they start stealing and fund embezzlement, brutalities, and loss of focus. It's a common practice among leaders in Nigeria and perhaps the entire continent of Africa. Lidan says power and the insatiable hunger of something could satanic and death end it all. Okay, Nuhu Mbaho says, may Abacha so rest in peace, is better than you. Raji Ajamu says, you now want to make it with Abacha for the rituals. What would you now do with the reserved areas in Asorock Villa as claimed during Showore's protests? Adamu says bullshit. Everyone says terrible leadership in Nigeria, evil geniuses. Asokobasi says the situation has not changed. Our leaders still believe in that. We know Abacha was bad, but the situation continues. This is all my listeners. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.